D and calcium for strong bones, and he loves them almost as much as I love him. Hey, I was saving that for later. Say it with Milkbone. Give me some paw.
It's your see results in just 1 week with Slim Fast. Shake it off, blend it off, just take it off and keep it off. Rich, protein-packed Slim Fast controls hunger up to 4 hours. Slim Fast, it's your thing.
Happy birthday! Make a wish!
Good. Okay, who wants cake?
She does. Janet, eat the cake.
Get your flu shot at Rite Aid today, because your coworkers didn't. And with every flu shot, you'll get a free cold and flu protection plan to help you all season long.
Hi, I'm Ron Paul. I spent 22 years in Congress, and today I'm back in Washington to issue an important warning. I believe a major financial crisis greater than the one from 2008 is approaching because our government has made a series of disastrous monetary decisions over the past few years. If I'm right, the way you live, work, travel, change. Stocks and bonds will crash. The savings of millions could be wiped out. You can't rely on Washington to help you. Get the facts and take the necessary steps to protect your family. The best place to start is the free website below. You'll find a short presentation I've put together with one of the leading financial research firms in America. It details both the problem and the important steps to take. I strongly encourage you to check out the website below. I guarantee it will be worth your time.
October 11th, 2006, 2:40 p.m., New York's bustling Upper East Side. High atop the Bel Air, a 50-story luxury high-rise apartment building, real estate agent Donna Olshan is taking in the view from the penthouse while she waits for clients to arrive.
The tall buildings are spectacular. Some of them have views that go on for miles and miles. I had a contract out on a beautiful penthouse apartment. I went up to the apartment in the afternoon. Clients had not shown up, and they were a little late.
Several stories below, elevator operator George Serrani is on duty, running a coworker up to the 41st floor.
It was a pretty nice day. It was a clear day outside. I was running the elevator at the time. I dropped off a fellow coworker upstairs, and I was on the way down with the elevator to the lobby.
Across the street, building manager Kevin Key is in the middle of his day, working with a contractor on one of the apartments in his complex.
My buildings are 5-story walk-ups, and we're located across the street from the Bel Air. So it is a very busy block.
For residents and passers-by on the Upper East Side, it's business as usual, until something shatters the routine.
I was looking south, and you could see the river and the city, and it was a beautiful view, and all of a sudden, an enormous explosion, and the whole building shook.
It startled us. It was a very big explosion. We ran to the window. We saw a ball of flames falling down.
When I heard the boom, I thought my life was over. I wasn't sure if the elevator was going to come down or go sideways or what was going.
Just a big ball of fire. I didn't really see anything. I couldn't tell what it was. Seeing the debris fall down, and we ran to the front of the building, so then we ran down the stairs as fast as we could.
Almost immediately, emergency responders are dispatched. But for Donna Olshan, it's still unclear what's happened.
I thought, oh boy, something is really wrong. There's tremendous sirens, there's a lot of activity outside, but I wasn't sure what it was. Of course, you think you're in New York, you've lived through 9/11, you think, oh boy, is there a bomb? Is there something wrong in the area? I knew it had to be something in the building, and I was really concerned.
And when the elevator came to the lobby, my doors in my elevator opened. We couldn't see outside, it was all black smoke. It was literally turned to night.
Driving on the Triborough Bridge just across the East River, filmmaker and recreational pilot Henry Niemark.
I was just entering the bridge from the Manhattan side when I noticed an airplane, and it was maneuvering and that looked very unusual. So what the heck is this guy doing, performing maneuvers like this? And then I saw the fireball. It was a fire. I knew exactly what happened. The plane hit the building.
At 2:42 p.m., a 4-seat single-engine Cirrus SR-20 hurtles into the 40th floor of the Bel Air, showering 72nd Street in flaming debris and setting fire to the building.
We ran out. We saw a wing on fire by the driveway. I ran down, grabbed the fire extinguisher, put out a piece of the wing that was on my side of the building, and I actually ran inside and grabbed my camcorder.
Up in the penthouse, approximately 10 stories above the fire, Donna Olshan still doesn't know what happened, but is starting to realize it's serious.
I knew that I had to get out of there very, very quickly. I figured I had minutes. I am going down the fire stairs, and within 1 or 2 flights, the smoke is coming up. I'm thinking, this is an unbelievable way to go.
Coming up.
It was a huge shock to me when it happened. I'm a huge Yankee fan, and when I realized it was a player, I mean, my heart went out to the Yankee family.
And later.
I said, the plane's in trouble. Something's wrong, something's not right.
Huh, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Well, with Kenny Rogers gets old pretty fast.
You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. What? You get it?
I get the gist, yeah.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I've seen floods. I've seen tornadoes. We give out Duracell batteries after the worst happens. And lost everything, but that's not what I see. I see a different kind of power. I saw it in Ruth, Adam, Tom. It's the power they have inside of them. The power to move forward.
At Duracell, we believe that's the power that never, ever goes out.
You know the love you feel for Olive Garden's fresh-baked breadsticks? Well, multiply that by 1,000,000. They're here. New breadstick sandwiches starting at just $6.99, only at Olive Garden.
All we need to sell Strongbow hard cider. So sorry, Sir Patrick. You're fired.
Fired?
Yeah, fired.
How dare...
Strongbow!
When your cold makes you wish you could stay in bed all day, use the power of new Blue Express Max. New TheraFlu Express Max. Feel better.
Need new tires? Right now at Pep Boys, when you get 3 Falcon, Cooper, or Hankook tires, you get the 4th tire free instantly. Plus, get no interest and paid in full within 12 months on your Pep Boys credit card. Trust the boys to get you there.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here in my lower back. But now I machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My lower back pain. Find a machine at drscholls.com.
Feel a spark of emotion light up every inch of you. Feel warm inside. Feel our big, beautiful new candle. Feel Glade.
SC Johnson.
Trick or treat! Thank you!
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The Ram ProMaster van, and introducing the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you in the town. Ram.
October 11th, 2006. New York City mobilizes a rapid response to a fire in the Bel Air condominiums. Moments after a single-engine Cirrus SR-20 slams into the 40th floor of the building.
The fuel was burning. It was very dark smoke. The whole building was black from the explosion, and the canopy had caught fire.
Inside, realtor Donna Olshan races down the fire stairs, desperate to get out of the flaming high-rise as smoke begins to fill the stairwell.
You could feel it in your lungs, and you feel the smoke coming in, and it started to burn.
Olshan continues down, pushing past the smoke and making it out of the building and onto the street. Finally, she begins to get an idea of what has happened.
As I was running up the street, I heard some doorman talking to somebody about it. I realized that I was maybe 60 feet above where the plane hit. If that plane had gone any which way differently, I could have been killed.
Witnesses, residents, and the press struggled to make sense of the chaotic scene.
I didn't know what was going on upstairs. We didn't know if there was a fire still going on. But we were all in shock.
It takes 2 hours for firefighters to extinguish the blaze. Amazingly, no bystanders are killed, but the occupant of the apartment where the plane crashed is seriously injured.
There are, flaming pieces of airplane, falling debris, pieces of engine, things like that. The fact that there were not a lot of casualties at ground level, remarkable.
For the occupants of the aircraft, however, the crash is fatal. Several officials released the names of the 2 men killed on board. They are flight instructor Tyler Stenger and famed New York Yankee.
It was a huge shock to me when it happened. I'm a huge Yankee fan, and when I realized it was a player, my heart went out to the family, of course, to the victim's family.
Is eager to find out what happened. While investigators on scene begin to comb through the remains of the plane, others get to work digging into Lytle and Stenger's flying history.
Corey Lytle was a relatively inexperienced pilot. He only had several of total flight time.
A recent transplant to New York from California, Lytle had received his private pilot certificate in February 2000 that purchased the Cirrus SR-20 in June. Previous instructors describe him as a very competent pilot for his experience level. And while investigators are unable to determine who was flying at the time of the accident, Lytle was under the trained supervision of Stenger, a licensed pilot and certified flight instructor, also from California.
Between the two of them, they were both qualified and current pilots. They didn't have a lot of experience in the operation of the airplane over the East River.
And this airspace is some of the most complex in the country. The island of Manhattan is bordered by 2 rivers, the Hudson on the west side and the East River. These 2 rivers converge at the bottom of Manhattan near the Statue of Liberty. For general aviation pilots flying VFR or visual flight rules, these rivers are also key pathways through the heavily regulated Class B airspace that surrounds the city.
Class B airspace is one of the most controlled types of airspace in the U.S. It requires radio contact with air traffic control. It requires specific equipment on board. There is an area in the Class B airspace in New York that allows a visual corridor around the river for helicopters, for small airplanes to be able to fly visually.
The top of the river. If you stray outside of that VFR corridor, you start to get into the airspace that is controlled by various facilities, whether it's LaGuardia, whether it's Newark, whether it's JFK.
Investigators learn that on the day of the crash, Lytle and Stenger departed from Teterboro Airport in New Jersey and were planning to fly to California, but decided to take a quick detour along this corridor.
They had gone out and flown around the Statue of Liberty as a sightseeing visit. They were going to then fly up the East River, come back down the East River, and then depart the area.
While most of the East River is part of the VFR corridor, there is a point just north of Roosevelt Island where the corridor ends and the landing approach for LaGuardia Airport begins. Unless Lytle and Stenger were willing to radio LaGuardia to get clearance, Class B airspace, they would have to turn around.
Well, if you're just sightseeing, you don't want to have to do that. You don't want to have to deal with air traffic control. So they tried to make a U-turn and come back down the river.
Investigators believe that this is where they begin to have problems. According to the plane's transponder data, of Roosevelt Island in the middle of the East River, the Cirrus starts a fairly sharp 40 to 40. On any other day, this may have been sufficient to turn them around while keeping them safely over the critical oversight.
The wind was blowing in significant velocity, and the effect that that's going to have, it's going to move them downwind during the turn.
Unfortunately, they didn't factor in the crosswind, and because it's a very narrow area, 13 to 1,500 feet, when they came out of the U-turn, there was areas of high buildings.
Investigators believe that once the pilots realized they were drifting toward the building, they tried to increase the tighten the turn to steer themselves back over the river. Instead, what this does is cause the plane to descend.
The steeper the bank angle, the faster the turn. But it requires a little bit of planning, adjustments of trim, so that you don't have the airplane descending.
Their options started to run out the further into the turn they got.
Now, dropping straight towards the Bel Air, investigators believe the pilots try to aggressively pull up to gain altitude and avoid the building. But it's too little, too late.
He was in such trouble at that point, there was no way that he could have done anything.
The frantic maneuver puts the Cirrus into an air-like stall. It loses lift, and the aircraft careens into the 40th floor of a high-rise and bursts into flames.
It was exactly as they would do it as a special effect in a movie. Big fireball, orangey kind of billowing flame, followed by black.
There was no evidence that there was any kind of mechanical malfunction or failure or problem with the flight controls that would have prevented either pilot from being able to control the airplane.
The crash is the result of pilot error. In its report, the NTSB finds that the probable cause of the accident was the pilot's inadequate judgment and airmanship in the performance of a 180 side of a limited turning space. For aviation experts, this crash is a reminder to all pilots of the importance of planning your flight before departing and always checking the winds en route.
You always have to have plan B, because if plan A fails, you need to have that bailout.
For the New Yorkers impacted by this unusual accident, it's an unforgettable close call.
After that, you say to yourself, I survived a plane crash, and whatever happens in this life, I made it through that.
Coming up.
You had gusty wind conditions, you had heavy rain, and that airplane should have never left the ground.
The 306 horsepower Lexus GS. Experience the next level of performance, and there's no going back. Lease the 2015 GS 350 with complimentary navigation system for these terms. See your Lexus dealer.
This is perfect. Celebrating our anniversary with a strawberry shortcake shake.
Yeah, I got the strawberry shortcake cone. Wait, what anniversary?
Of coming here yesterday?
Or one-day anniversary.
You totally forgot.
No, I didn't forget.
Gosh, so you didn't get me anything.
I did. Remembered, and I got you this.
Oh man, what is it?
Go ahead, open it up.
Is it a watch?
No, it's not a watch.
Oh man, you know I needed a watch.
Have your cake and drink it too. New ice cream cake, shakes, and cones. Try one of our delicious Master Blasts. This is how you Sonic.
If you have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, isn't it time to let the real you shine through? Introducing Otezla, a Premolast. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. Some people who took Otezla saw 75% clearer skin after 4 months. And Otezla's prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't take Otezla if you are allergic to any of its ingredients. Otezla may increase the risk of depression. Tell your history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your weight and may stop treatment. Side effects may include diarrhea, nausea, upper respiratory tract infection, and headache. Tell your doctor about about all the medicines you take and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Otezla. Show more of you.
All we need hard cider is ice. So sorry, Sir Patrick. You're fired.
Fired?
Yeah, fired.
How dare...
Strongbow!
Let's tap into new floors in a new way. Step up the savings and get moving. Yeah, like that. Let's do this. Hand scraped Saratoga hickory lemon is just 99 cents per square foot at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
I'm lucky to get through a shift without a disaster. My bargain detergent couldn't keep up, so I switched to Tide Pods. They're super concentrated, so I get a better clean. 15% cleaning ingredients or 90%. Don't pay for water, pay for clean. That's my Tide.
Showtime. This fall, Morris Chestnut is coming to Fox as Miami's premier private pathologist.
Why are you so obsessed with death?
My obsession is with every breath I take.
Rosewood, Wednesday, 23rd on Fox.
Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. This changes everything. Flonase is the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 non-drought